see me today, and today they celebrate the successes of my life. But there was a time in my life when I was about 10 years old that I had to repeat class 5. When I started primary school, I was collecting all the awards. And then my dad tells me that when I got to class 3, I told him he's rich, so I won't study anymore. And he thought it was just child talk. He ignored it, and he saw me go from top 10, go to the middle, and by the time I got to class 5, within 2 years, you had to turn the result table upside down to see my name. And I repeated class 5. At the time, I didn't know the words that would attach to it. But the support from my parents were so pivotal in helping me understand that in life you may fail, but it's not what you do with the failure, it's how you learn from that failure. And I remember my mom, conversations with my mom. My mom was the homemaker, so she was the one who was with us majority of the time. And she would say to me, India, which is the phrase, her term of endearment towards me, is that, India, yes, you failed, but you have life. And so far as you have life, you can recover anything. So far as you make up your mind, you won't allow your past to dictate your present and predict your future. So at the age of 11, I remember going through class and sitting with my younger mates, now we're classmates. And you know, majority of the people who I sat in class with, who thought they thought I was there, they didn't know that I was a year ahead of them. Today when they're speaking to me, they say, it's because you're so clever, you left us in class 5. What my dad did was, he enrolled me for the common entrance. So I sat the common entrance with my year mates.
To be able to catch up.
And people thought, oh, he was in class 5 and now he's gone to secondary school. So they attribute that move by my dad as my brilliance.
I'm interested in learning about your attitude towards that whole experience and how that carried through the rest of your adult life.
Right. So for me, repeating wasn't pleasant, but it gave me the chance to discipline myself again. It gave me the opportunity to look at where I was, and then I had to focus. So I had to make up my mind, what did I want? I wanted to become a pilot, and I have failed at this particular hurdle. So my way of looking at it was, my parents brought in all the right help I needed. I had teachers come into the house to give me some extra lessons. But what I also did start doing was asking more questions. Amazingly, repeating a class gives you the opportunity to relearn something. But if your mindset is not right, you will end up making the same mistakes. So though I repeated, I took the class like I had just got to class 5. And I made friends with my classmates, and this is why to date, they still think I was too clever for class 5. And that's why I went to secondary school with the other year group. So focus was one of the things. Not blaming myself or beating myself as why did I fail? It was not in my vocabulary. I was optimistic because my parents had so much confidence in me, and they didn't keep reminding me of the failure. They just kept pointing me to the successes I can have. So as a child, you're hearing all these good feedback from your parents. My class teacher also would do the same. So it was actually quite easy for me to just tag along with their confidence to build my confidence. And that helped me to deal with this issue. Now moving forward, or fast forwarding into as I was growing up and I was facing challenges in life, every time I failed at something, amazingly, I go back to that experience and ask myself, what did I learn? And those lessons then is focus, try again, try again, try again. So for me, failure was a good thing for me, because it was only through my failing that I could define what success was. Now, a lot of people equate success to being the top in class. Yes, it's success, and there's nothing wrong with it. But for me, that wasn't it. Success for me was resilience. How do you bounce back from the setbacks of life? How do you go back to the same thing? You know you've done it before, you know you failed, and majority of the time you have the same mindset. How do you navigate yourself in thinking in one way and reshaping it, or just having a paradigm shift so that you can then look at the same thing and go, okay, maybe this is not the way, let me try another way. And that's what failure did for me.